Hello friends, welcome to this video on the concept of Mibor. Mibor is a very important rate which is used in the Indian financial system. So I thought I will take you through the concept of Mibor and explain this in detail. Even before we understand the concept of Mibor, it is important to know an entity which is called as the Financial Benchmarks India Private Limited. Now, FBIL is responsible for publishing the data related to Mibor, which is nothing but the rate of Mibor. FBIL, which is owned by FIMDA, FEDI, and IPA. These three institutions, collectively formed FBIL in December 2014. It's a private limited company under the Companies Act, and one of the key responsibility that has been assigned to this particular institution is to develop and administer benchmarks relating to money market, government securities, and foreign exchange in India. So basically, FBIL constructs or develops the methodology for creation of these benchmarks, and the benchmarks are into different areas like benchmarks related to money market. So in money market, there are multiple benchmarks. You have the Mibor, you have the MROR, the CD rates, the CP based benchmarks, the treasury bill based benchmarks which are there. Similarly, you have benchmarks for the government securities and the foreign exchange, where you get to know about the forward premium curve and also the reference rates which are available. Uh, the responsibility that has been given to FBIL is collection and submission of market data and information, including poll data. So there are some benchmarks which are based on poll data also, which it collects, and that is used for the purpose of arriving at the benchmark rate. So FBIL basically works on various aspects of calculation of the benchmark rates, and that's why it was important to know about the FBIL, and I thought I will share a bit of it about you. You can definitely go to the website of FBIL and get much more information over there. Now let us move to the concept of what is called as the Mibor. So Mibor is a benchmark rate which is used for overnight transactions, or basically it's a rate which is based on the overnight transactions that happen. So FBIL publishes this benchmark rate, and it is called as overnight Mumbai interbank outright rate. So it is not the offered rate, it is an outright rate, which is what we need to know very clearly. It is published on a daily basis except Saturday, Sunday, and local holidays. Local holidays here means the holidays which are based out of Mumbai in India. The benchmark rate is calculated from the actual call money transaction data that we get. So basically, it's a rate which is a derived rate. Now, this particular rate is not through any polling, but the data is collected from the call money transaction that happens on the India's call system. CCIL, which is Clearing Corporation of India Limited, acts as a calculating agent, and the rate is announced every day at 10:45 a.m. And if there is any issue with respect to the data collection, because remember, it is the number of trades and certain thresholds which are taken into consideration for disseminating the data related to Mibor. So it's very important that the data sets should be available. Now, benchmark rate comes from the call system. So it's very important to know what is this call system. So NDS call is a managed platform of CCIL. What do I mean by managed platform? So this platform was earlier there with RBI. Now RBI has handed over the platform to CCIL to manage this. So on NDS call platform, the call money transactions happen, and the call money transactions are typically the overnight transactions, though they can extend up to 365 days. So overnight transactions are for 1 day, and selected entities are permitted to transact in the call money market, like scheduled commercial banks, primary dealers, uh, regional rural banks. Um, then you also have the payment banks which are permitted. So you have around 6 different set of entities which are allowed to transact in the NDS call market. It's an uncollateralized market. which means there's no collateral which is needed, and that's why the entry is restricted. So once the trade happens in the NDS call, the same data is used by CCIL, which is its managed platform. I mean, NDS call is the managed platform of CCIL. So that data CCIL uses and acts as a calculating agent and provides the data to FBIL, which in turn publishes the Mibor, which is the outright rate. We also have what is called as the term Mibor. So that was an overnight Mibor, and this is the term Mibor. Now term Mibor is published for tenures of 14 days, 1 month and 3 months. So this is for a longer duration that you get term Mibor, and this is something where there is a polling that happens. So this rate is not derived from a system. This is more of a polled rate. Now the rates are announced at 11:45 a.m. every day, and unlike the overnight Mibor where it was at 10:45, this data can also be used for various purposes. So what exactly is the uses of Mibor? Where can we use Mibor? So we can use it at many places. It is used as a risk-free rate in calculation of ratios like Sharpe ratio. So mutual funds which publish Sharpe ratio use the FBIL data as the risk-free rate. It is used as risk-free rate in arriving at futures price as per cost of carry model. So we know that cost of carry model takes into consideration spot price multiplied by 1 plus rate of interest raised to time. That rate of interest is nothing but this kind of a rate, which is the Mibor rate, and it can also be used as a benchmark for borrowing between the banks, because it is nothing but effectively borrowings of the bank. But if banks have to do the trade bit amongst themselves, they can also use this benchmark. I hope this video on Mibor made sense for you. If that's the case, then please do subscribe to my channel and like this video and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for your time. Hope to see you in some other video soon.